Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Dark Hollow. And this is going to be another video in the series of Cursed or Coincidence. And this one also has some actual documented accounts, but most of these are pretty much passed by word of mouth, as far as like a legend and local folklore kind of thing. Because as far as I can tell, there's not any written documentation, and no way to find out, like, actual names or anything. So take that as you will. But this one's one you probably have heard of. I know I've seen it on some like top 10 channels and some other channels of that nature. It's called the Bassano Vase. Now, it was made of carved silver during the latter half of the 15th century. It's the subject of Italian folklore that continues to frighten and inspire. It's believed to have been made as a wedding gift for a young woman in the northern village of Napoli. I guess I pronounced that right. I hope so. Sorry if I didn't. She is said to have either died or was murdered on her wedding night, clutching onto the vase as she passed. Soon after the woman was interred, the vase was given to another family member who sadly also perished shortly after receiving it. It was once again passed to another family member with the same unfortunate end. So another quick death almost immediately after taking possession of the vase. The family soon understood that the vase was cursed and connected to death somehow, so they had it hidden away. Which, yeah, that's, wouldn't have took that many tries, I don't guess, and get that many family members. And you're giving them this vase that has killed other family members, and maybe they didn't like each other all that well. There are several claims on how it was hidden. Some say, excuse me, some say it was buried, while others speak of it being hidden by a priest, presumably in a church or other holy resting place. Both versions could be true, for the tale, takes an abrupt hiatus for hundreds of years before anybody ever hears of it again. The vase remained hidden until it resurfaced in 1988, bringing more hardship and death along with it. Now, the tale of the rediscovery tells how it was found by an unsuspecting young man who had dug it up somewhere. Again, there's not a whole lot of specific details on locations and names. Some say his yard, while other versions simply skip over the geography. And legend tells us that when the vase was found, a piece of parchment with the message, "Beware, this vase brings death," was discovered inside of it. Now, I know that there aren't many like parchments, documents, and things from way back then. way back. So, but if you're telling me that this parchment was found inside a vase that was under the dirt for hundreds and hundreds of years, just doesn't ring true to me that the parchment would still be there, let alone be like legible. I could be wrong. I am not a scientist, but it just doesn't, that doesn't ring true with me. However, that's what the legend says. So, regardless, the warning was discarded and the vase was quickly auctioned off for 4 million lira, and that's about 2,250 US dollars, to a local pharmacist. We don't know the name of the auction house, the buyer, or the man who made the discovery. It's kind of like, I heard it from a friend whose cousins, brothers, uncles, like a lot of local legends and folklore is, I knew a kid whose sister, or I knew a kid whose brother, and it's all second, third hand. Anyone who studies urban legends and stuff will notice that sort of pattern. Anyway, supposedly, the man who bought it at auction was dead 3 months later. His family quickly sold the vase to a prominent surgeon who didn't believe in such things as curses, and he also died 2 months later at the ripe old age of 37. Again, we don't have a name, we don't have, anything like that. So, it really starts to bring more of a scary story more than actual fact that this vase had a whole lot to do with these people's deaths. After a short period of time, it sold again, this time to an archaeologist who saw the vase as a true artifact of the high Renaissance and promptly added to his private collection. 3 months later, he died of an unknown infection. The cause of death in the other modern-day victims have not been detailed. The stories continued with one last sale. Information about the last owner is even thinner than the previous ones, except for the fact that he perished less than a month after taking possession. His family decided to sell the fancy vase, but by this time the thing seemed to have a reputation to it, and it was considered bad luck. They were not able to get the 5 million lira. The unfortunate archaeologist, doled out, but they did sell it. Once again, the new owner died in the space of only 1 month after purchasing it. By this time, the Bassano vase was believed to be cursed by the townsfolk, especially the remaining family, and was tossed out of the window in haste. Yeah, we have a cursed vase. We're just going to throw it out the window. And with one last unearthly insult, the vase is said to have nearly hit a policeman in the head as it was flung out of the window. The policeman, who quickly offered the litterbug a fine for disorderly behavior. The owners of the haunted vase accepted the ticket, but not the vase, and turned it down flat, wishing to be arrested, then take the thing back again. The police attempted to place the artifact in a museum, but word had already circulated about the vase being cursed. So strong was the belief that no institution would accept it. This fact seems somewhat difficult to comprehend, since many of the world's Egyptian artifacts, as well as other things taken from tombs across the globe, are suspected to be cursed, yet still reside in museums. That's a good point. I mean, you have King Tutankhamun's was supposed to have this really bad curse. And then you have the Hope Diamond that was supposed to have this really bad curse. And all these other things. And they are in museums at this time. So, museums I don't think really care too much about rumors of curses. Today, several Italian newspapers have claimed that one of the officers who could feel the negative energy of the vase and took it upon himself to dispose of it. The Bassano vase was said to once again be reburied in an undisclosed location. Some say in a lead box, others say in the holy ground of a ceremony, and still other versions say both. The Bassano vase is a curiously strange tale surrounded in death. The vase was considered cursed by those who possessed it, but seemingly cursed without explanation. In fact, no one really understands how or why it became so powerful or where the curse originated from. Also, unlike other haunted or cursed objects, the Bassano vase isn't available for scrutiny. In fact, its whereabouts are unknown. So there's another theory for you. I mean, no one can see it. No one can, verify anything about it. So that's puts another hole in the theory of a curse. Then again, maybe for a good reason, its, location is undisclosed. There are no direct eyewitness accounts of the problematic vase, only stories of its deadly power. Another angle worth considering is the fact that the Bassano vase was very plain in a time where plain was not in vogue. Silver art was crafted in the Renaissance. However, most vases were porcelain and decorated exquisitely with multiple colors and scenes of Italian life at the time. Also, the shape and the style of the Bassano vase doesn't fit with the time period. It was supposedly crafted. One of the strange features is the lack of a flat bottom. It resembles a bottle vase with a much wider scalloped opening at the top, indicating something later than the 15th century and not Italian. The closest comparison might be to the Portuguese vase from the Qin dynasty in the mid to late 1700 China. There are also silver Persian vases which resemble the Bassano vase, but none of them are plain on the exterior and none primarily from the 1400s. So, the Bassano vase has roots that go much deeper than the stories tell. The backstory could have been a creation of the individual who unearthed it in 1988, or are a variation on other cursed objects. If it wasn't for the number of quick deaths associated with it in the 1980s, no one would pay attention to it. But the number of deaths connected to it is too many to be coincidental and can not simply be brushed aside. I beg to differ. It's obvious that the vase has a negative impact on it, imprint on it, one that is strong enough to last for several decades. We know that many antiques carry powerful energy, some due to an event in their past which influences them with something terrible, or a small few which have purposely been weaponized through a curse, hex, or execration. What we don't know is which type was connected to the Bassano vase, and since it's currently missing, we may never know. So, unless it is unearthed or the people that know where it is bring it forward so that it can be studied and you know, at least verified time period and material and things like that. Yeah. To me, it sounds like even in a small grain of truth, if there was a vase, if it was gifted to a young woman who died on her wedding day holding the vase, I mean, you got to think too. I mean, sometimes they were still using lead back then to make vases and even plates and things to eat off of, so who knows. What do you think? Do you think there's a curse attached to a vase that no one's seen since the 1980s, and that nobody can get any facts to back up on anything? I mean, this one just seems a bit, I don't know. One of the other art or cursed items that I've got on this playlist is the Busby stoop chair. You can still go to the museum and see that chair, and hear the direct history of that chair, where it came from, and you know. So that one would be a little more, and there's a plausible reason of why the Busby chair is cursed. If you wanted to lean towards the fact that you believe in curses. At least the Busby chair does have, you know, its ownership can be traced. It's, the owner was hung, so he put a curse on it. You know, deaths have been linked to people that have actually sat in the chair. And the last owner of it, even though he could make money as far as it being a tourist attraction, said that it was too dangerous and donated it to a museum where, you know, he's not profiting at all. So obviously he believes in the curse. I don't know. Tell me what you think. And if you like this kind of content, please hit that thumbs up button down there at the bottom. And let me leave a like on this video if you like the kind of content that I put out. Like I said, we're getting ready to do our first ghost hunt at the end of the month. Hopefully, we will have it done and ready to do a live premiere on Halloween, which would be great. And please subscribe and hit the notifications, and you'll know when I put up these new videos. I do have some exciting ones coming up. They've just been on hold because of the technical issues, but they're ready to be recorded, and I'm trying to get them recorded as quickly as I can and get them uploaded. So I've got a lot more content coming, guys. Please, if you like my stuff, subscribe. It costs you nothing, but it really helps me out. Hit the like button on the videos. Share my videos if you want to. That'd be great. And I will see you all again later. Bye.